I feel like my life has led me to this moment. It's amazing to have my music played by such talented people here at the Grand Teton Music Festival. I'm Alex Turley, I'm a composer.
But even there, the bum, bum, just get out of the way after that. Just hold it.
I've written a piece called The Ocean's Dream of Itself, which is getting a world premiere with Sasha, Cooke, Sir Donald Runnicles, and the festival orchestra here at the Grand Teton Music Festival.
When we come back to the piano at 19, let's really make that piano. Just there are enough mezzo-pianos in this work, so let's really come back to that piano there.
I met Donald Runnicles a couple of years ago in Sydney. He conducted a premiere of mine, a piece called Mirage. I got the sense that he liked it, but I wasn't sure. And then the very next day, I got an email in my inbox saying, "Alex, will you write me a song cycle?"
As I told you, Alex and I worked together for the first time in Sydney, and I popped the question with regard to a song cycle, and here we are.
I've spent the last 2 years thinking about it, and then writing it, and then editing it, and now I'm here, hearing it being played for the first time.
It's bar 789. Da 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 ba ba. Little soy, yeah. Da, da, da.
People might imagine because I'm a composer that I sort of know how my piece is going to sound, but it's always a really special thing to attend a first rehearsal and just get pleasantly surprised by so many things in the music that the musicians have brought. Just the tiny little details that go so much further than what I can do as a composer.
I think what's so remarkable about Alex's music is it immediately makes you feel at home. There's something very current, very fun. There's like a lightheartedness mixed with poignancy that he has in most everything he does.
Writing vocal music is something that has its own special kind of process because you need text. I knew the feelings that I wanted, and I just sort of had to find the words to express that. One day I was in my hometown, which is Perth, Australia. I went into this bookstore and I picked up this tiny little book, which was all poems by Western Australian authors. I found everything that I needed in this tiny book. So I found these 5 poems that they're all different, but in some way they use a metaphor that's about the way that we as humans interact with the natural world. So one of them's sort of about the ocean, one of them's about being swept away in a rainstorm, and they all kind of interrogate the human condition through that sort of lens. So once I had the text, then the music just sort of comes out really easily.
If you think about voice and orchestra, writing this huge wave of sound, it's kind of like an ocean. And that's sort of what Alex has created in the musical setting. I think what first struck me when I saw the score was how lyrical it would be, meaning that the part really sings itself. You hear it and it goes into your spirit and you just know it.
I feel we have to make more? I'm just wondering if it's about the dynamic.
I actually wrote this piece quite quickly, like it all just sort of came out really fast. So I finished it a couple of months ago. There's time for it to just rest before it gets picked up this week for the first rehearsals, and I feel like I'm hearing it, you know, really freshly this week.
Just that transition to 34.
You can predict a lot with putting stuff on a page when you're writing an orchestral score, how it's going to come across live, but there's always some stuff that you want to tweak. At bar 18, I've written stems of viv for the whole string section. I think maybe they should introduce a tiny bit of vibrato here because I think it will help the chords just shimmer a little bit. Whether it's just like, oh, can we just bring the strings just down in this bar, or you know, maybe Sasha could wait a bit more before she comes in with this phrase just so she has more space. You know, it's just like, it just adds some movement rather than just having the chords. You know, I've got the chords and then the string solos, they just speckle it.
I think it'll actually help the intonation as well.
That's
It's
also what I
not
was
just the
thinking.
shimmering. I think it's the moments that it's just a little acidic.
Yeah. It's also just about getting it to a place where it fits with what Sasha's voice is, and it means the way that she can shape things and where she can breathe and, you know, how long she spends in the different registers of her voice.
It's a living, breathing art form. So if I tell the composer, you know, this isn't so comfortable here, oh, let's change it. Or he hears something in my voice that he really wants to bring out, then that piece feels even more me than probably anything else I sing because it was crafted with me in mind. I mean, that is such a special experience. So that's really special to have that experience with Alex, who's so lovely.
I'm overwhelmed with how beautiful your voice is, so it's hard to nitpick, you know, but I thought maybe the very... I'm really happy to be working with someone like Sasha. She's got an incredible voice, she's an incredible musician as well. I'm going to need to
She
apologise.
practiced that so hard.
What's great is that Sir Donald, I mean, everyone knows this already, but he's quite a good musician, and he's just... Every time he sort of has a suggestion of, oh, Alex, maybe we should just tweak this here, it's the perfect thing. It's exactly what that moment of music needed.
That's what I mean. I think that this just, as I say, this feeling of this is a very large wave coming in from a long way away, small as it begins, but as it gets bigger. And I think that's here.
It's things like that that just come up. It's the most stressful but also the most enjoyable time is like the rehearsal week. How I'm thinking about this is that the relationship between Sasha and the orchestra is a metaphor for the relationship of one individual and the natural world. So she's talking about, I'm looking at the sky, I'm looking at the ocean.
It really struck me today in rehearsal because this piece is all about sort of the reverence of nature and the awe, and that's what this place on earth is. And a lot of places in the world are beautiful, but there is something really magical about this space. So it struck me how perfect to premiere a piece that is celebrating nature in a place that couldn't, you know, underline that more.
We're in such a beautiful place, it's hard for me to think about a more beautiful place in the world. And so I think it's so special for people to come here and spend a night listening to beautiful music.
To premiere something with this particular orchestra is very special because you have not only a level of playing that is so high, but you have a level of happiness that is really palpable. It's always wonderful when the players you're with feel seen, because then they bring the best of themselves. So when you match that with a new work, that's what we have here. I just feel very lucky. And new music has that wonderful ability. Everyone in the room knows they're experiencing something that hasn't been heard before.
You want to make a piece that just kind of washes over people and ultimately just feels like something that just fills you up.